Today's lecture, we will be covering about the topic bulk density and particle density. And titignan din natin yung relationship ng dalawang concept na to in relation to porosity or gaano ba ka-porous yung lupa, gaano ba siya kalakas, let's say, gaano siya kalakas mag-hold ng tubig na naididilig natin sa ating lupain. So magkakaroon tayo dito ng basic computation. I will be explaining to you the concepts. I will be explaining to you the ideal bulk density, particle density, and its interpretation of result. And finally, bibigyan ko kayo ng mga iba't ibang pointers para mas madali niyong matandaan yung relationship ng bulk density, particle density, and porosity. Unahin natin yung discussion natin sa bulk density. Now, what is bulk density? Now, let's imagine for some instance na mayroon kang baso na hawak-hawak ngayon. So, you're holding a cup, and then itong cup na to, pupunuin mo siya ng dry soil. Now, itong dry soil na to, hindi lang solid particles yung naandyan, nandun sa baso mo. But rather, kasama dyan yung solid particles and at the same time, yung air pockets na nasa soil. Now, if you remember it from our previous lecture, ang soil is made up of solid particles and at the same time, it's made up of pore spaces, right? And ideal nga, dapat 50-50 yung 50-50 yung hatian ng solid particles and pore spaces na nasa lupa. So sa bulk density, kapag naglagay ka ng dry soil dun sa tubig mo, ang soil not tubig, na nasa cup mo, I mean, ang soil na dun sa cup mo is made up of both soil particles and pore spaces. Yun ang tinitignan natin sa bulk density. So, ang sinasagot natin na tanong is, ano ba yung mass? Okay, ano ba yung mass ng dry soil in a given volume? So it means, ano ba yung mass ng dry soil na nasa baso mo? Yun yung titignan natin sa bulk density. And when you say dry soil, we include here the solid particles and the air spaces or the pore spaces na nandun sa ating soil. So mass within a given volume of the dry soil, including the air spaces. Yun ang tinitignan natin sa bulk density. Ano ang formula in computing bulk density? So ang formula, simple lang. That is, the mass of oven dry soils divided by the total volume of soil. So total volume means the volume of the soil solids and the volume of the pore spaces. You have to remember guys na pagdating sa mass ng soil, hindi lang po basta kumuha ka ng lupa sa field, ikinilo mo na. Hindi po yun yung tamang proseso. When you say mass, it is the mass of oven dry soil. That is to say, dapat yung lupa, inilagay mo muna siya sa oven at around 105 degrees Celsius para maalis lahat ng tubig. To make sure na wala tayong kinikilo na tubig. Na ang kikiluhin lang natin are only the soil solid, and the pore spaces. And of course, the mass of oven dry soil will be divided by the volume of solids. Usually, ang unit for the mass of oven dry soil is in grams. Tapos ang total volume naman, ang unit niyan is in centimeter cube. Malinaw? Okay. Now, let's try a problem. A simple problem. So, sabi dito, ang soil sample mo daw weighs, so yun yung mass niya, 400 grams after oven drying it. So, itong 400 grams na to, ito yung dried weight or the oven dried weight of your soil sample. And the volume that it occupies is 300 centimeter cube. So very straightforward, ano yung bulk density? Isa-substitute mo lang yung values. So the 400 will go here. So this is 400 grams and 300 centimeter cubes. Yan naman yung volume. So the mass is 400 grams. The volume is 300 centimeter cube. If you're going to divide that, ang makukuha mong sagot is 1.33 grams per centimeter cube. Ang tanong, anong ibig sabihin ng number na yan? So I came up with this table to interpret the results. Now usually, kapag ang bulk density ng lupa natin is around less than 1.1 grams per centimeter cube, ibig sabihin, ang lupa is very porous. Maraming pore spaces doon sa lupa. And dahil mas marami yung pore spaces doon sa lupa, you can also say that mataas yung water holding capacity ng ating lupa. And if you can remember it from our previous lecture, alin ang mataas, alin between mineral soils and organic soils, alin doon ang may mas mataas na porosity or mas mataas na water holding capacity? Sabi natin, mas mataas ang water holding capacity ng mga organic soils. So, yung mga may bulk density na less than 1.1 grams per centimeter cube, usually, sila yung mga organic soils. So, very porous kasi mataas ang organic content. Now, ang ideal sa halaman, on average, is what we have computed, that's 1.33 grams per centimeter cube, or if you want to put it in a range, that's 1.1 to 1.4 grams per centimeter cube. So, yan yung ideal para sa mga halaman. It encourages root penetration doon sa soil, and at the same time, it encourages microbial activity para yung mga earthworms, yung mga microbes na nagpapaganda rin doon sa nature ng lupa na tinataniman natin, ay nagagawa nila yung dapat nilang gawin in terms of decomposition and nutrient cycling, or yung pagre-release ng mga nutrients na pwedeng gamitin ng halaman. Now, kapag ang bulk density mo naman is around greater than 1.6 grams per centimeter cube, ang ibig sabihin niyan, ang lupa mo is compacted. So it's opposite from the porous. Right? Compacted, hindi siya masyadong nag-hold ng tubig. Even, hindi pa pumapasok yung tubig masyado sa kanya kasi nga compacted yung lupa. So there's not enough pore spaces in between, and ang implication niyan, dahil wala masyadong pore spaces in between, it can restrict root growth. So kumbaga, para siyang brick ng semento. Right? Brick ng semento. Hindi basta-basta nakaka-penetrate yung roots. Kasi nga, wala masyadong pore spaces that helps the roots to move in the soil. Limitado din dyan yung paggalaw ng tubig or yung paggalaw ng hangin kasi nga compacted yung lupa. So anong mapapansin nyo sa interpretation of results na ito, sa table na to? Habang tumataas ang bulk density, anong nangyayari doon sa lupa? Mas nawawalan siya ng pore spaces, right? Mas nagiging compacted siya habang tumataas yung lupa. Habang tumataas yung bulk density. Pero kapag bumababa naman ang bulk density, ibig sabihin, mas nagiging porous yung lupa. Mas tumataas yung water holding capacity niya, mas marami yung pore spaces. So, higher BD means compacted yung soil, a lower BD means porous yung soil. So, balik tayo dito sa example ko kanina. Sabi ko, ang compacted soil ay parang isang brick. Okay? Parang isang brick. So, wala masyadong butas, kaya hindi basta-basta nagpe-penetrate yung roots, water, or air. Ang porous naman na lupa, para siyang sponge. Right? Sponge. Okay, drawing ko na ng sponge. So, yung yung sponge, marami siyang mga butas-butas. Right? Pore spaces po ang tawag dyan. So, dahil marami siyang butas-butas, kapag binasa mo yung sponge, ang mapapansin mo, ina-absorb niya yung tubig. So, very porous, kaya kapag mas mababa ang bulk density, ang lupa mo mas nagiging sponge. Kapag naman tumataas ang bulk density, ang lupa mo ay parang nagiging brick. So that's another way of thinking about it. I have also included in my presentation here a table on the ideal densities of soils according to what type of soil texture is that. So kung mapapansin natin, ang mga sandy soils, ang ideal na bulk density niya kapag sobrang sandy yung lupa, ibig sabihin malalaki yung soil particles, ang ideal bulk density niya is around 1.6 grams per centimeter cube. Whereas, if it's greater than 1.8, medyo restricted na ang root growth sa point na yan. Kapag silty naman yung lupa, it's 1.4 grams per centimeter cube. Yan yung ideal sa kanya. Greater than 1.65, it could restrict root growth already. And finally, for clay, 1.1 centimeter cube, yan yung ideal sa kanya kapag clayy yung lupa mo. Whereas, kapag mas mataas na sa 1.47, maaari nang compacted yung lupa and it can restrict root growth. So bakit kaya na magkakaiba yung ideal bulk densities for each type of soil texture? Why? Well, the reason behind is the sizes of the particles for each soil texture. Kung babalikan natin yung lesson natin on soil texture, ang mga sandy soils, ang particle sizes niyan malalaki. Right? So malalaki siya. So madali lang mag-infiltrate yung lupa, madali lang mag-infiltrate yung tubig sa kanya. So that's one implication of that. Whereas, ang silty at saka ang clayy, mas maliliit yung soil particles niya. So dahil ang clayy type, maliit yung soil particles niya, it could easily restrict the movement of roots. Kaya for clayy types, gusto natin mas mababa sana yung bulk density para at a lower bulk density for clayy soils, root movement will not be restricted. Ngayon sa sandy soils naman, since coarse siya, mas malalaki yung sizes ng soil particles niya, gusto natin na at some point medyo sana compacted siya in a way that it will hold water. Kaya kapag sandy yung soil mo, mabuhangin, it would be ideal to have at least 1.6 grams per centimeter cube para ma-promote niya yung tamang growth ng halaman. So so we have covered now the concept of bulk density, the formula, how do we compute it, and finally, ano yung ibig sabihin ng results when we are computing for the bulk density. Ngayon, ang titignan naman natin is yung partner ni bulk density, which is si particle density. So balik tayo doon sa ating illustration kanina. May hawak kang baso. Pinuno mo yan ng oven-dried soil. Sabi natin, yung mass ng oven-dried soil na yon at saka yung kasama na divided by the volume of the soil, including the pore spaces, will pertain to your bulk density. So mass divided by the volume of the total, divided by the total soil volume, kasama na dyan yung solid and the pore spaces in your soil. Ngayon, dito sa particle density naman, kukuha ka ng lupa, oven-dried na lupa, ilalagay mo doon sa baso, tapos aalisin mo lahat ng pore spaces. Yun naman ang definition ng particle density. Kung sa bulk density, mayroon kang pore spaces.
Magtitake ka ba ng licensure exam for agriculturists this year? If yes, I believe my course is for you. Enroll now at Learning Agri with the modular course by clicking the link below. Ano pang hinihintay mo? Mag-enroll ka na. Samahan kita mag-review. Bye!